Hey everyone, and welcome back to week 2 of our 52-week journey through Microsoft Excel. If you've ever stared at a spreadsheet wondering how to quickly and accurately add up your data without breaking a sweat, today's episode is for you. We're diving into the powerful sum and Autosum functions in Excel, two simple tools that can seriously boost your productivity. So, whether you're brand new to Excel or just looking to sharpen your skills, this video will show you exactly how these functions work, when to use them, and how they can save you time on everyday tasks. So, grab your coffee, open up Excel, and let's get into it. Alright, the sum function is one of the most commonly used functions in Excel, and what it does, it simply adds up a range of numbers that you have selected. And to better understand when to use the sum function. So let's say you have a list of numbers and you want to calculate the total. That's the time when you can use sum. You're adding values across multiple rows and columns or even across sheets. You can also use sum function in that case. And you want a clean, readable formula rather than typing simply A1 plus A2 like the cell values. You can simply use the sum function. So now what we're going to see here is one of the traditional methods, just so we can understand how quick the sum and the Autosum function is. So let's say you have to add all these values here in the column for January, and here I'm using a spreadsheet that is just a made up spreadsheet, auto sales report for 2024, and we're gonna just try and understand the sum and the Autosum function using this spreadsheet here. And I'm just gonna zoom in a little bit here. Okay, that's better. Okay, so let's say you want to add up all the values here in the column. So what I would have done, like if we talk about how traditionally people used to add numbers, I would go equals, and then I will start by selecting one cell and then plus, then the next one plus, and I will keep on selecting all these cells. And when I hit enter, that's when I get the total of all these 4 cells here. But instead of doing all these, let's say you have a huge spreadsheet and you can just really go through each and every number here. So in that case, what you can do is you can quickly use the sum function. And to use the sum function, you just have to hit equals and start by typing sum, and then you'll get the options. So we'll use the sum function, and then it says number 1, so you can select number 1 comma number 2 comma, and then you can add all these values here using a comma, and at the end you get the value for all the numbers that you have selected. Again, this is kind of same thing that you are selecting each values here. So there is a much quicker way that you can add the cell references, cell values, and you can quickly get a total for that. So how we would do that is using the same sum function, equals, you go sum, and then you just have to give a cell reference. So let's say C4, and then use the column C4 to C19 all the way to C19. And when I enter these cell references here, you'll see there is a blue border that you see around all these numbers, and when I hit enter, that's the value that I see here. But again, that is sum, and these are like 2 or 3 different ways, depending on what kind of scenario you have. If you just have 2 numbers, you can easily always do equals a plus b. If you have more than 2 numbers or more than like 50 numbers or anything, you can always try and go ahead to use the sum function instead of using numbers individually. So that was pretty much what sum function does and how you can use it in different scenarios. Now I'll just get out of these values here again. I'll just remove the total. Now let's talk about Autosum. What is Autosum? So it is like a shortcut version of sum function. it automatically guesses the range of numbers you want to add and writes the formula for you. And where you can find it, so when you're on your Excel spreadsheet and your home tab is going to be selected by default. So on your home tab, if you look on the right hand side, somewhere center right, you'll see a symbol. So that is the sum symbol here. So what that button or what that function does is it's gonna auto guess the range of numbers for you, and it's gonna give you a total. So that is pretty amazing. If you have a huge spreadsheet, let's say you have 15,000 rows, it's hard to just scroll all the way back and forth to even get those cell references. Let's say your cell references are, you need a sum from C4 to C15980. So it's not really a best practice that you will be just going through each and every item, or you'll just be entering the references by yourself. There is always a chance of human error. So in that case, what you can do is, doesn't matter how long your spreadsheet is going to be, there is always going to be a cell for getting the total amount or getting the sum. So in my case here on the spreadsheet that we see here, we also have a total. And when I talk about Autosum, how you can do is like where you can use it. Let's say you have sales total for a month, or you have budget, adding expense categories, or like inventory. So inventories can be small or they can be huge. So in all those cases, you can always rely on Autosum, and that's going to give you the best accuracy and the quickest method that you can sum all these values here. So what I'm going to show you here is, when you have a range of numbers with you, and you have a cell where you want to get the total number. So in this case, what you want to do is, on this column itself, if I'm selecting this cell and I simply go and click on that number, so now you'll see it is auto identifying the same numbers that we selected in the sum formula. So I just had to click that button, and when I hit enter, that's the total I get. And that is always dynamic. If I change the values here, the sum is going to change. That is default. If I change the values, and you'll see the numbers changing here. Now another good feature or another good functionality that you can use in Excel is, when you have one formula and when you have a total, what you can simply do is just go in that right bottom corner of your Excel, and then you'll see how your plus sign changes to a darker smaller plus. So you can simply click and just drag through all the cells where you want the same formula to apply. And when I leave that click, that's when you'll see all the sum values are auto-filled. And same thing, if I change any value, it's gonna change the total here. So that's a pretty amazing function here that you can use, Autosum. You don't have to worry about the range. You don't have to worry about like typing any cell references by yourself. It's all gonna be done by Excel, and then you just have to make sure that it is selecting the exact same range. And one great thing about Autosum, it doesn't only work one way. It's like it always works horizontally and vertically as well. So let's say we had a request. Once we have this spreadsheet completed, someone asked us that I need sales total just for a specific brand here. So let's say I wanted a specific row, and I would just go here, click on any cell. I would just click here, and when I hit on Autosum, that's when you will see it's gonna highlight these cells here, and just to make sure that okay, these are all the numbers that I want to add. Hit enter, and there we go, I have my number. And same way, when I have to get a total for each brand here, I would just go same thing, just dragging, select and drag. When you have that dark plus sign here, just select and drag all the way and then you have the total for each brand. So how amazing is that? It's really quick, it's really accurate, and you don't really have to worry about any other cell references or adding any values or missing anything. You just have to make sure that you have to double check, make sure that when you're clicking on that Autosum, just take a quick peek on that highlighted area that it's not missing any values. It will mostly not, but it's always good practice. All right, so yeah, I think this was helpful for you guys. Start using Sum when you want full control and Autosum when you want speed. Yeah, that's the correct way I can put it. They both get you to the same place. You just choose the tool that fits your workflow. Every individual, when you guys are working on Excel, everyone's condition or everyone's situation is going to be different. So choose the one that you like, or choose the one that goes perfectly in your workflow, and enjoy. Yeah. All right, so thanks for watching, guys, and yeah, I'll see you in the next week and our next exciting video. All right, have fun.